Everyone, this is Rod. I hope you're doing well out there. So today I want to talk to you about this idea that, why black people are so successful in sports or in the entertainment business. So a lot of people think that black people are so successful in sports and entertainment business is because they're like born to it. They have special abilities, special athletic abilities, so that makes them more successful and prone to be in sports or to be in professional sports. And the same with, as a musician, I'm talking about singers or musicians in period. They think that somehow they're born to play instruments. Over the years we've just been training ourselves like this is what they do. They're just good at this. And the reason why we feel this in part is, our people feel this in part, is because it's been going on for many years. Black people have been successful and thriving in these two areas for many years. But that's not why they're successful, though, in these areas. In this country, and this is an amazing country, and this country is thriving, it's getting better and better, but there is still biases, racial discrimination, all that sort of stuff out there in the world, out there in businesses, in schools, every aspect of life. Black people struggle in every aspect of life. Now, I'm not making excuses, because we can still overcome, we can still be successful in these areas. But I'm just saying, but they struggle in all these aspects of life. Why do they struggle in these aspects of life? But then when you look in sports and entertainment, you see that people are thriving and being successful. Not that they don't struggle, but they're thriving and be successful. So I'll present to you the reason why is because of this aspect of pure competition. In sports and in the entertainment business, there's pure competition, meaning there's a pure set of rules that everyone follows, and that you adhere to those rules, and will determine your success. So like if you play basketball, you score so many baskets a game and you win the game, that's a success. An individual that scores points in the game, that's recognized. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your culture is. Same with baseball. You hit so many home runs, whatever it is. You run the bases. It's just pure competition. Football, same thing. Boxing, all sports. There's this tennis, pure competition. Pure competition. You're the best based on who you are. It doesn't matter what your culture is. And then in the music industry, it's a different level, but there's pure competition in this as well, because the beauty of music is universal. We all can appreciate and love music. It doesn't matter who's playing it. And you've seen that throughout the years, whether it was Sammy Davis Jr. or Nat King Cole or anybody in the music industry. You love and admire those music. So back in the day with Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., there was severe racial discrimination, the civil rights era, but people would sit down and listen to those folks, even though they didn't like black people, even though people were being discriminated or separation, Jim Crow laws, whatever it is. They love these people and they love the music. And the reason why is because the music, like I said, is universal and it tugs at our hearts. We like the music, and we can separate the music, the art, from the person, and that's what they were able to do. And this is why people are so successful in sports and so successful in their entertainment business. But for the rest of us out there in the world, everything is subjective. And subjective in the sense that whoever is judging you through their eyes, they're being subjective because they're judging you based on their own experience or their own thought process. So if you're trying to get a job in a company, or you're trying to get promoted in a company, people are looking at you subjectively. They're not looking at you from the same set of rules like athletes are looking at. They don't have the same emotional tug that entertainers have. They just have this subjective view of you as they're trying to decide to hire you or not, or as they're deciding to promote you or not, or when a police officer pulls you over, same thing. There's this subjective view as they're looking at you, and they're like, okay, is this person a criminal based on what he looked, based on what I think my world is, whatever it is. All your experiences have this subjective view, and that's why there's this difference between success in football or sports arena versus entertainment, but there's also a different level. I mean, I'm just talking pure entertainment, competition in the field, on the stage. But there's another level about management. There's another level about coaches. That's a subjective view. That's why it's more difficult to get coaches and people in management in sports, because now we're going to the subjective view. We've gotten away from the pure competition. We're going to the subjective view. And it's the same thing in entertainment. Once you get off the stage and then you start looking at managers or giving people contracts, there's this subjective view that plays into play. But there is a way for all of us to protect ourselves in this subjective view world that's outside the entertainment and the sports world, and that is education. Education will protect you from that subjective view. And I'm not talking about college education. I'm not talking about that. I think it's important you go to college or those kind of things, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a different type of education. This is education of self. This is education of your environment. This is getting a deep understanding as you watch and learn about people, what you're dealing with. Because you can fight and present yourself or making a stand with all these situations. One-on-one, you can make a stand. Case by case, you can make a stand. When you have knowledge and understanding of it, and what you can do is you can create almost a form of pure competition by you alone. You can create this pure competition and bring it to your level. At your level, there's the level of government, there's a level of businesses, and there's a level of society. We all need that to come into place too. But I'm just saying, as a start, you start with you start with your situation, you start case by case, and you do that by educating yourself about what's in front of you. And when you educate yourself about what's in front of you, then you can make decisions. You can say, okay, I'm going to bypass this. I see it. This is a situation in front of me that appears to be biased. I'm going to bypass this, or I'm going to confront it, or I'm going to go around it. I'm going to go through it, or I'm going to figure out another way. I'm not going to sit here and take it. I'm going to figure out another way. So you can make it work for you too, but you got to work for it. And when I say the education part of, you just sit there and you learn about biases out there. How do you deal with it? How do you confront? You don't just accept it. You don't just suffer in it. And this is how you create a pure competition equalizer for yourself. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Peace and hope, everyone. Talk to you soon.